Welcome to this week's episode of They've Been Doing It All Day, Sir. I am sick to death of the Manly Sea Eagles. Get stuck in.
How's your week been, mate?
It's been terrible. I've been
terrible.
rough as arseholes this week. I think I said last week that my body was aching.
Yep.
And that was the start of my illness. Since then,
bugger.
I've had the flu. I think I had conjunctivitis as well. My left eye was, I couldn't open it a couple of days, managed to get some drops in it. And yeah, just been bunged up. So it's been a horrific weekend, topped off by the absolute dross over the weekend. But what about yourself? How's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. I had quite a chilled one actually at the weekend. Went to some places in Freshie. Went to the Stowaway. I don't know if you've ever been.
Old mate that we were sat next to, I don't know if you remember this, when we went to watch the Waratahs game.
Okay.
Can you remember we were sat up in the corner and the geezer next to us was from Freshie and he was talking to his mate next to him. He said, I've got to take you to the Stowaway one time.
The one that had bags of cash.
Yeah, too much cash.
And then I also went to the Freshie Local, which is Freshwater Brewery's new place in Freshwater.
The pub, as in like their
Unreal.
shop. Yeah.
Unreal little place. Like it's going to be bouncing in the summer. We went in. I think the owner recognised us from Freshwater because we were chatting away. I was the first one in the public outside of the Freshwater Brewing family to taste their new American Pale Ale.
Nice.
Unreal. Great little tipple. He then came over with some pastrami. Was like, try this. We're going to do some Reuben soon. Incredible bit of pastrami. And then we ordered, I know it sounds daft, but bread and butter. So it was warm baguette with whipped butter. It was banging. And then they came over with a massive bowl of olives as well. Like treated like
Fair
royalty.
play.
It was, and I was like, I'm going to be back. Great little spot.
Well, Freshie Brewery, if you want to chuck some tins our way to sample whilst we're doing the podcast, then please feel free to reach out. But we'll have to give that one a go.
Yeah,
We'll certainly have to give that one a go.
And happy hour every day, 3 till 6.
Every day?
Every day.
Wowzers. Their happy hour on a Friday is pretty good as well down at Freshie Brewery.
4 till 8, $10 pints.
Yeah, fair enough. But do you know what? Something came up on my TikTok earlier that I thought I'd chuck in and just ask. See, a bit of a question around this. If you were to compete in any sport at the Olympics and not finish last, which one would it be? So it's got to be an individual event. It can't be part of a team event. And you can spend the whole 4-year Olympic cycle training for it.
And is this all I'm doing? Like I'm now a sponsored athlete. I'm now a billionaire or whatever. Someone sponsored me. I don't need to work. All I'm going to do is focus on the Olympics. Is that the rule?
Whole life dedicated to it. Got to be the same age though. You can't like go back in time or anything like that.
So I've got to be from now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
There's some. I think there's some clear and obvious ones that you could probably pick up quite quickly, but you've got to be super skilled at them. So I'm thinking like shooting, archery, those sort of ones that you might not finish last in.
Yeah, I reckon some sort of 1,500 meters, like something 10K. I just reckon there's someone that'll be slower than me after 4 years. 28
minutes or something. Oh, in fact, even quicker than that, like 20 minutes or something. Something ridiculous.
This is all I'm doing. I'm in a lab. Like I've got a team behind me. I'm going to drop to 50 kilos or whatever they are.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That was where my first thought went to.
Yeah.
But it's a really difficult one to think of.
It is. I mean, I probably would go with archery.
Archery, okay.
The girl that gave the question on TikTok, she said archery. I mean, I know I said no team sports, but ones like rowing, the 8, you could probably hide yourself in and put in a decent effort to get there. But outside of that, like technique's obviously big in rowing. Yeah. But individual sports,
I thought rowing. Maybe cycling.
Or again, some big. I ain't going to turn into Chris Hoy in 4 years.
That's a bit depending on. Oh, you've got to be clean, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. No enhanced games over here.
No enhanced games. It's a bit of on the spot. I reckon. You know what? I'm leaning to it. Like, do they still do crown green bowls in the Olympics?
No, I don't think so. I think they went a while ago.
That's a shame.
Boxing, actually, maybe boxing, amateur boxing. We've got old boxing specialists out there. Could probably ask him one time.
Not. I reckon there's an Uzbek out there who'll just clean me up.
Yeah,
in the first,
being in the heavyweight category as well, I'll probably get my head knocked off. But one to think of.
I reckon I'll flip and go shooting.
Yeah,
I'll mate off the hip pistol.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? That meme that went round ages ago, just there.
Hand in his pocket, going bang.
Turkish guy, weren't it? All right.
Yeah, I think
shooting and archery, those sort of ones.
I reckon 10,000 hours worth of practice. I reckon you can get very good quite quickly. And if you've got 4 years, I reckon by the end of year 2, you are a sniper. If this is all you're doing. Because don't forget that you've got
my Call of Duty experience will come into play.
So I reckon I'm gonna go shooting.
Yeah, fair play. Well, before we get tucked into what can only be described as a eventful weekend of the NRL, just want to shout out all the new subscribers that we've had over the last week or two. We mentioned it last week. Appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to click on the subscribe button, give us a like, give us a follow. Yes, they're slowly going up.
That's all that matters.
Numbers are slowly going up, which is good. But let's get tucked into the NRL. There's only one place to start, really, and that is Manly's season is done.
I'm gonna.
Are you at peace with it?
Yeah, I am at peace with it. I had me rant last week. Got it out of my system. If anyone wants to watch it, go watch the 30-minute. To be fair, everything I said was very relevant and showed up again this week.
And it's exactly the same thing this week.
Do you know what? DC got a lot of hate from this game.
He was trying.
He was. There was some decision making. I was like, right, you've got another 4 tackles here. You didn't need to do that when he kicked it right out the back on a. But he was trying to make things happen. And just stuff around. Everyone was so flat-footed, and that's one thing over the last week I've noticed is the Manly's attack. Their halves aren't moving when they receive the ball. They're flat-footed, and it can come from the pace of where the ball's coming from. But fair play to the Tigers, they just ripped open.
Do you know what? Dewey, I thought had a great game.
Dewey had a great game. Yeah.
And Taylor May, since he's come back for the Tigers, he's been so well. Obviously, his brother doing pretty well as well in the front pack. Just they hand it off to him. He sets it up in the middle. But yeah, absolutely terrible from Manly. And what sums it up is it was either Brooks or DCE boots the ball, and what was it? Fumbled on like the literally 30 centimeters out from the goal line, tackle 0, and then we go in penalty or. Yeah. I can't even remember what it was because it pissed me off that much. But that sums everything up. Again, same as last week. Standout performer for the
Tolu.
I
got it the other way around.
Cola. He but he did exactly the same. We did exactly the same last week against the Raiders. Like
quick start,
absolute magic bit of individual effort. Gas around the outside last week, palmed off like 7 people. I think there was a stat that Tigers missed 8 tackles in the first half, and 6 of them was on that play. And then we don't go to him again. We don't bother throwing the ball to him. We try to do all this sort of stuff that just wasn't going our way.
Yeah.
Lost Garrick for the rest of the season. Season done, but we've just got to kind of
rebuild
for next year.
Rebuild.
But the Trebojevic brothers. Tom ain't looking at it. Jake, massive.
Tom looks injured.
He does,
and I can already see it now. He's going to come out and say I've had a torn meniscus all season or something like that.
Well, what's he done this year? What are the injuries he's had? This hamstring.
Yeah, his hamstring went early,
and was it his knee as well?
Yeah.
One of those will be the underlying problem. But
didn't he have a hip as well? Didn't a hip go? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's all confusing with last year as well. But this is something that I thought about earlier. Look at the trajectory of 2 teams that played each other in the finals last year. You look at the Bulldogs, who
maintained.
We lost to we beat in the regular season to get into the final, and then we beat them in the final.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's Tolu Kola again that breaks through, runs down the wing, and sets that up. But look where they've gone from last year. And look what's happened to Manly. And there's only one influencing factor. That is, you can say injuries, but every team has had injuries, significant injuries. And that is the people above the players. And that is the coaching staff. And Seabold just ain't the one. I'll be very, 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 very surprised if he's our coach next year.
I heard he was going to be the coaching director. He's going to be promoted, like jobs for the boys.
Absolute jobs to the boys. And then you have to look above that then, like Mastrov and even the owners above that. Like,
he's never in the country, is he?
No, he's American. But look, I'm taking my boy to his first game this weekend. It's meant to be pissing down with rain on the hill. See how it goes. But look, we're predicting later. But in the words of, what's his name? Castillo, it's not looking good, bruv.
Nah.
Anyway, on to two teams that are potential premiership candidates. Kicked it off on Thursday night. A lot of controversy surrounding this game. Storm 22, Panthers 18. What are your thoughts on Leota and his block on Harry Grant?
Well, this is what I thought about the other. I messaged you straight after. So if Cleary decided to run with the ball, would Harry Grant have been done for a tackle off the ball?
Yeah.
Because if you watch what Grant does, it's a tackle in motion. He wraps Leota. So surely that's a tackle off the ball, because you can't get done for obstruction because he's not run anywhere. He's just stood still. Yeah, he has taken a step to the left, but not.
You slow anything down. We've said this so many times. He could have taken the most minimal step to the left-hand side, and on slow motion, it
could have been
like
a fart.
Exactly. He looks like he's intentionally doing it.
Yeah. But you know what? You play to the rules. It is what it is, and you can't block a field goal.
I think I said this though. I posted something on Instagram. I commented on something underneath, and someone responded saying, the rules are the rules. And that I'm not disagreeing with. Yeah, Leota is in front of him. He is. But Grant isn't running to block the ball. He's running around Leota to try and...
He could have gone up to Leota's right. And
he could have gone underneath him, for sure. But then you look, what a team's going to do now. As soon as someone goes for a field goal, they're going to look for the nearest person to them and run directly at that. And someone commented underneath and highlighted that Mitch Kenny tried to do it when Munster had the field goal to try and win it down the other end. So I think... they're setting themselves up for a.
The only way you'll stop it is if you start penalise people for diving and play acting, but then that's down to the ref's interpretation of what's happened, and you then can't slow it down. You've got to then watch it in full motion, and you've got to see if there is any play acting involved, because that was a great sell by Harry Grant. But other than that, Storm impressed me in this game.
They didn't. I kind of walked away from it thinking, well. Two factors on this. One, Xavier Coates is unstoppable.
Incredible.
How do you stop him? Brian Toto, I think, was having nightmares the day before the game and then didn't know what to do during the game. The height difference and probably Origin got in his head as well, like giving away the penalty during Origin.
To be fair, there's no way he's defending against Coates. I'm sorry. No. He's got... The Coates has got a massive vert over him, and the only other thing you could do is possibly put Thomas Jenkins over that side and put him against him. But even then... Coates has just got such a frame over them that he's unstoppable in the air.
Yeah. For me, coming away from this game though, I feel Penrith will be like, we can do this.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't lose this game off the back of a poor performance. Like, we lost this game on an error of judgment, and two errors of judgment. One, Leota being in the wrong place, and two, just being so eager to get out and block Munster's kick that it just left Grant to dive through the middle, in which the Storm have played their hand. They're never... Storm aren't going to be able to use that trick again, because Marker's going to stay square and they're going to send people to block it from either side. So, look, they've taken away a weapon in their arsenal. But if I was Penrith, I'd be like, we ain't scared of no one. If Storm meant to be the favourites, then we're also there as well.
I agree with that. You can also add in Blaise Talangi's interception in that way, then Coates... ran up the end and scored.
What a tackle that nearly was to stop that as well. But finish from Xavier Coates. Did someone tackle him? They did, and he dived around the outside.
Wasn't it McLean who came across?
Someone. It was incredible, because I remember thinking that's 2 in 2 weeks of absolutely insane stops, both on Xavier Coates as well, actually. But a team that's hit form, and I think you cannot rule them out from anywhere, and that is the Sydney Roosters defeating the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs 32-12, and Sam Walker has justified kind of his money, really.
And then you look at, do they need DCE?
I don't think they do.
No, I think they're in trouble as well, and this is why DCE might have been trying to go out his way to, because it's surely not to get Manly into the finals last week. It was just try and showcase his contract. But this is the one that I think we separated. I think you went Dogs and I went Roosters.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that they were able to justify that performance. Their back three are arguably the best unit in the league.
Tupou's having a season. Tedesco's having an absolute season of it.
And Big Marky Mark.
And Big Marky Mark is just an anomaly that's come out of nowhere. And
I reckon that's the best back three combination in the league.
They're all big as well. Like they're big wingers, strong runners. Like usually you have a smaller fullback, maybe some lanky wingers, but they're just all powerhouses.
Yeah.
And Tupou is arguably as good as Coates in the air.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's as good a finisher all round, but he is certainly under the high ball.
Yeah.
Big threat. But I think this highlights a bit of a concern for the Bulldogs in the fact that they come up against a team that is just relentless and stays on the front foot, doesn't think, oh no, we've got to do this, that, and the other, and just attacks their weaknesses, and they put them away. So let's see what happens with the Bulldogs moving forward. But this is the one that got me. Broncos 38, Dolphins 28. I looked back at our tips last week, and I was so on the fence with this one.
Yeah,
and I went with the Dolphins, but. What a comeback from the Broncos.
It was an on-the-fence performance as well. You know, Broncos, they just turned it on.
Reece Walsh, when he turns it on, he's a game winner.
Yeah.
And the turning point by a mile was Dolphins scored just after half-time, and you think, they're 2 scores up. They're gonna run away with this now. Reece Walsh bashes out a 40-20. They then go 3 tries in 7 minutes. And they looked at completely different teams. And the Dolphins didn't know what to do.
And the Broncos have that in them. They have that quick back-to-back scoring in them. And it's not the first time they've done it this season. And that's the wave that teams need to watch out for is I think the Broncos are the most dangerous after they've just scored because they are looking to go again very, very quickly. And they're not afraid of trying stuff either. Like they will whip it out and won't do hit-ups straight off the back line. So, but again, it's been their inconsistency all season. I think the top 8 has now been decided. I think the Roosters are going to nip into that final.
They're in the driving seat for that one.
That final spot. And unfortunately, I think the Dolphins are just going to finish outside it. They're still 4 points behind the Sharks and Broncos.
Yeah.
With 3 games to go. I don't see it really changing from here.
Nah, I think it is unless there's absolute massive surprise. I mean, the Tigers can still get in the 8, but I don't think that's going to happen. But like you say, the inconsistencies with the Broncos, you don't know what we're going to get in finals. So you don't know what you're going to get week to week from.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they had been consistent this year, they would have been in the 4, like quite comfortably.
Yeah, a couple of big injuries, but didn't seem to impact them in the weekend. But it'll be interesting to see how they go up against a stronger team. Not saying the Dolphins aren't strong, but they didn't have Kafusi and they didn't have someone else as well. So it'd be interesting to see. But after the game, there was Payne Haas was interviewed, and he had announced that he was defecting to Samoa.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the eligibility rules of kind of everything that's coming out? Like Big Tino. He's not going to be playing for Australia, but then saying this, England have got, I think it was Billy Smith has said from the Roosters, said he's going to play for England and a few others. Campbell, was it from the Titans? Or was it Brimson, one of them?
I don't mind the eligibility rules of your grandparents, etc. like that. I really like that. I just don't think international sport should be treated like club sport.
Nah.
And you'd be able to chop and change between.
Yeah.
So I don't really like if as soon as you represent a nation at in a competitive game, that's your nation for the rest of your time at international sport.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It'll be interesting to see. It's going to develop international rugby for sure because it's going to make the international competition a lot stronger. Be interesting to see how everyone goes at the World Cup in what is it next year, 26?
Yeah.
So I think there could be a Pacific Island team that wins that. But I even read earlier that Val Holmes was on the verge of playing for the Cook Islands, but he decided to choose Australia. Okay. So next up, we got the Sharks stuck on an absolute score against the Titans.
Yep.
Titans actually came out of this and led it at one point. I thought, oh no, here we go. Here's the Sharks we know. But I think, to me, I don't think we've learned anything new from the Sharks. They've stuck 50 points on a team that are going to be spooners. And I don't think they're going to trouble the finals. I think they could be out early.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've got it in them to if they consist at their best, they've got it in them to go deep. But I just think them and the Broncos have been so inconsistent this season that I just don't see them going deep into the finals. Especially if they come up against, one of your Panthers or Raiders. I just don't see them getting past there, to be honest.
They're going to have, if they finish outside the top 4, which is highly likely, they're going to have a tough draw against either, looking at it could be the Warriors. You never know, they might slip out the 4. But it's going to be one of the Panthers, Broncos, Roosters or Warriors. I don't put them favourites against any of those. But talking of the Warriors, absolute low quality game against the Dragons. I struggled watching this one on Friday night.
Yeah.
Warriors defeat the Dragons 14-10. Dragons were 10-0 up at one point as well.
They were. And I think they're quite lucky now, the Warriors. I don't think they're going to finish in the 4.
No. They haven't found their magic since Metcalf has gone. They've kind of lost that.
They're limping towards the finals. And look, the Sharks are on an automatic bye this week. So they're on the verge of they'll get 2 points, and then that will put them up above the Warriors. Yeah. So if the Warriors don't beat the Titans, but the Warriors have got the Titans, so it's
sort of game though. The Titans could cause an upset. So
I'm not convinced on the Warriors are gonna finish in the 4 now. It's sort of worrying times for them.
Yeah, Dragons though on a rebuild for next season. Their season they can't make it into the 8, but I think they look promising for next year. They've got some good young forwards that are coming through. And one to potentially watch out for next year. Not saying they're going to be competition favourites, but I think they could cause some damage next year. But a game that I thought the Eels were going to absolutely blow the Rabbitohs away, and the Rabbitohs end up walking away 20 points to 16 victors in this one. Wayne Bennett goes back-to-back, 2 wins, and old mate Jai Gray at the back had an absolute field day. He was everywhere. Great.
Big fan of Jai Gray. Yeah. Big fan. I've said it sort of all season. He's a player that you can't sleep on. And I think there was a period of play where he made a tackle, made 2 tackles in the row, and then he was sweeping at fullback to then clean up a grubber kick through and just epitomise his work ethic. He's just an absolute dog when he needs to be.
Yeah, with Mitchell being not named because of, back spasms, quad, something like that. I can't remember what it was. I reckon Jai Gray should play fullback remainder of the season, and then Mitchell come in, play in the centres. But Eels didn't look great. They're limping home to the end of the season. They're not guaranteed to get the spoon, but I think that it's pretty much certain that it's going to be the Titans. So there's no real pressure on them. I think they just look forward to next season, and like you say, could be a dark horse next year. We'll see how it materialises. But last game of the weekend, boy, I
got this so wrong.
This is boring, but the Cowboys absolutely blew the Knights away. And I saw a stat that the Knights have the most scoreless first halves in a season ever. Like,
that is bad.
They made so many mistakes. They were like dropping balls over the line. All right, drink water, got a fist, like knock the ball out. But the passing was terrible. They were knocking on. They just look so average. They've got a coach that needs them to win in order to survive. Putting performances in like that ain't gonna fill the owners with confidence to get rid of Adam O'Brien. But yeah, Cowboys run away with it. And talking of coaches that need a team to perform to survive, Todd Payton's one of them. Stick 38 points on the Knights, but
it's going to be. They're going into absolutely nothing seasons. Like these 3, anyone under the Dolphins really, because the Dolphins are going to be fighting till the end. So from the 10th down, everyone's sort of limping to the end of the season. Which is a bit of a shame. You'd want a bit more of a competition, but Manly got in the Warriors, Dolphins, and Dragons last 3 games of the season.
Yeah.
Just from a Manly point of view, I just don't see a lot happening there, to be honest.
No, but look, I think, like you said, we've solidified some teams in the top 8. It's mainly going to stay as it is. We've got 3 rounds left in the season. There could be some surprises in there, but it's only really the Dolphins that can make it into the 8. I can't see Manly doing it unless they absolutely turn it around. But let's get on to round 25.
Yep.
So there are going to be some somewhat dead rubber fixtures, but it's always interesting to see kind of how they go, just to see who can put strong performances in at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, Thursday night, we're out at everyone's favourite venue. We're at the Accor Stadium for the Rabbitohs at $1.85 against the Dragons, $2.
That is going to be I'm just having a quick look
A
at the
wet Thursday night out at the Accor.
I'm going to go on Big Money Man's back. I'm going to go for the Dragons in this one. Go for the Dragons.
Yeah, I think they've done enough over recent weeks to get a victory over the Rabbitohs. Latrell Mitchell's not back.
Nah.
So Keon Kalama-Tungi is, though. That's a big inclusion for them. But I think the Dragons are going to finish the season stronger, and they're going to get a victory over the Rabbitohs.
And then, is this a grand final preview? Out up in Mudgee, we've got the Penrith Panthers at $1.60 against the Canberra Raiders at $2.36.
If the Raiders want to cement themselves as a favourite for the premiership, I'm not just talking about minor premiership, I'm talking about
the full
winning
shebang.
the whole comp, they need to win this game.
Yep.
Do I think they're going to win this game? No.
Okay.
I think the Penrith Panthers are going to win this. Isaiah Yeo's been named on the extended bench, so he can potentially be brought in, but see how, again, like the four's not locked for the Panthers. They need to win this as well to prove their money. If they win this, I'd say, do you know what? Stick the Panthers Storm guaranteed final. But yeah, I'm going to go for the Penrith Panthers in this one.
I think I'm gonna join you, mate. I think I'm going to join you with the Panthers. As much as I love watching the Raiders this year, I just can't see them getting past this Panthers momentum at the moment.
Yeah.
And the worst team to play against is an angry Panthers, especially off the back of that win.
What a Friday night, by the way. I've just looked at the next fixture, and we have the Melbourne Storm at $1.48 against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs at $2.67. That means we have, I would argue, the top 4 teams in the competition. Warriors are on the slide. We've mentioned this. The top 4 teams in the competition playing on Friday night.
Yep.
Where are you going with this one?
I'm going to go with the Storm. Storm at home. I like the Dogs. Dogs have been strong this year, but I just don't see them being able to quieten down Coates. Who's going to be? Is he going to be against Carraz or?
Well, he's basically Tupou.
Yeah.
So, and they had trouble stopping him last week. So
yeah, exactly. Just going to be aerial threats, and I just can't see him. Munster's actually out. That's quite a big one.
Is he?
Ooh,
No, he's playing at fullback.
Yeah, he is. Sorry. But
because Pappenhausen's
still injured, but it's still not in his.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that didn't really do much. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Storm.
I'm going to join you on that one. I think the Storm at home get this one done against the Bulldogs.
And then we're at Four Pines Park. Come on, Manly. Manly at $1.89 against the Dolphins at $1.95. Where's your money going?
Where is my money going? Where is my money going? Do you know what? Because it's at home, it says ground conditions are going to be good. It says the weather's going to be fine. I don't know how much I
don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit.
With that weather being fine, I like that Tommy Talau is starting. Obviously, Garrick's out, shoulder done for the season. I worry about our forward pack. I worry that the Dolphins have got a better forward pack, but the boys at Brookie are going to get it done, and the Manly Seagulls are going to win. You're gonna tip the Dolphins?
No. Oh. I never tip against Manly. I said at the start of the year I'm never going to do it, but I'm going to go Manly. It's going to be a Hopawate and Kola absolute masterclass.
If Kola can run through a team, I reckon the Dolphins he could do some damage.
This is going to be
bookmark it.
This is going to be the get the boys a contract game for them too. Yeah. It's going to be an incredible game, and I can't wait for it.
Fair enough. And then the 5:30 kickoff on the Saturday, we've got at the Seabus Super, we've got the Titans $2.52 against the Warriors $1.53.
Oh, you've got to go the Warriors on this. I think it's going to be a scrappy Warriors win.
I'm going to go for the upset. I'm going to go
for the Titans. Yeah.
Titans at home. I just reckon after last week, they're going to want to bounce back and getting spanked, and they're going to beat a limping Warriors team.
And then we're over at the Combank for the 7:35 kickoff with the Parramatta Eels at 3:30 and the Sydney Roosters at $1.33.
I can't see anything other than the Sydney Roosters putting on an absolute masterclass. And I'd even say Tedesco, Tupou and Nawaqanitawase are going to get each score in this. Mm-hmm. So I'm going for the Sydney Roosters, and I'm going Sydney Roosters big as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Roosters quite big. I think they're going to put on an absolute barnstormer.
Then we go up to Newcastle, McDonald Jones Stadium. The Knights, Newcastle Knights at $3.66 against the Brisbane Broncos at $1.29. That is short.
I'm going to go Broncos. I think this could be an absolute drumming.
Yeah.
But the thing is, whenever I go, I think the Broncos are going to be unreal. They play shit, which is what I'm a little bit worried about. But I just can't. I just don't think the Knights have got an attack to break down the Broncos.
Nah, can't see it happening myself. I reckon the Broncos win it, and they win it pretty comfortably.
And then actually, you know what? If those results go that way, the old Knights could be close. Points difference. Knights minus 186, Titans minus 187.
So if the Titans win and the Knights lose,
I think the Titans go above the Knights, and the Knights could be in the spoon contenders. Ooh.
Wowzers!
And then finally, we're at Leichhardt Oval with the West Tigers at $1.64, and then Cowboys at $2.27.
If my memory serves me correct, last time these two teams played at Leichhardt, Tigers put 60 odd on the Cowboys. I don't quite think it's going to be 60 odd this time, but I am going to go for the West Tigers to win this game.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for the Tigers as well.
Let's see how it goes. There could be some strange old performances though this week, considering some teams are out of it, but there's some teams trying to avoid the wooden spoon. But one sport that was back, or one league that was back this weekend, was the English Premier League. And we're going to link the English Premier League and the NRL. And we decided that we are going to come up with our own starting 13 of former past and or present Premier League players. And how we're going to do this, we're each going to select a front rower, second rower, centre, winger, and then we're going to bring some players to the table to decide who's going to play our 9, 6, 7 and 1.
Yep.
So who you gone first for your front rower?
I've gone for a centre-back who was...
The longest in the shower?
Renowned, yes. I heard he was very much the longest in the shower. He was guaranteed a mistake pretty much every game, but he was an absolute unit, and that was Big Titus Bramble.
It's not a bad one.
I reckon that boy is going to come off the back fence hard, and he's going to run the ball hard every time. Yeah,
it's a good pick, very good pick. And to pair him with an absolute nutter, like by all accounts would fight absolutely anyone, just didn't give a shit about anyone. And that is Big Duncan Ferguson, played for Everton. Absolute lunatic out there. Few scraps, few fights, and people definitely wouldn't get on the wrong side of him. But who's your second rower?
So I've gone for a big Serb, an absolute hero of Birmingham City, standing at 6'7", Nikola Zigic. I reckon with his size, he'd open up. He would open. He's not the quickest. You don't have to be the quickest at second row.
Do you reckon you could drop one on the inside to him?
And he's just going to be flying through.
Yeah.
And I just think he'll be a solid second row.
Similar sort of vibe I've gone for mine. I've gone for Nemanja Matic, those Eastern European vibes again. And the fact that tall, big geezer, can finish. I reckon in a past life he might have also murdered someone maybe.
Yeah.
But
a Serbian partnership.
Serbian partnership in the middle. Second rowers, Nemanja Matic and Nikola Zigic. Centres though. Wow, there's some tasty people here. Who you gone with as one of your centres?
I have gone for Diego Costa.
What a
the
geezer.
Elephant Man. Absolute physical nightmare of a centre. And he was just so good, and he outmuscled all the centre backs. To
partner that centre, I've gone with someone that's got absolute pace, but is an absolute unit as well. Played for Wolves, played for Barcelona. Who else did he play
Fulham.
for? Played for Fulham.
He's currently at Fulham, I think.
Adama Traore, the most Vaselined or baby oiled up arms on a pitch that you've seen. But I reckon give him the ball and he would absolutely annihilate some people. So, who have you gone with at hooker?
At hooker? Are we going to ignore the wingers?
Oh, sorry, I've jumped fully ahead then. Fully ahead. Talking of pace, actually, from Adama Traore.
These two are very quick wingers, very quick, and I like how the partnership has arisen from it as well, because they are both athletic as out as well.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Gareth Bale, pure speed, absolute incredible athleticism. He's Welsh, so I reckon he's got a bit of rugby blood in him somewhere. I just think he'll be very much like Xavier Coates in the air, and you'd just be kicking to both wingers, to be honest.
Yeah, I've gone for Cristiano Ronaldo, purely for the fact the guy can leap 10 miles in the air, great finisher, and like we're talking about, I know, two completely different sports, but if you want someone to finish a chance, that man can do it. So I've gone for, Cristiano Ronaldo. In at 9 then, sorry, I jumped ahead earlier.
Yeah.
In at 9, who have we gone with?
So this was a little bit of a toss-up for me, because my 9 could have been my 7 as well. And I've gone for Roy Keane.
Yep.
He is an absolute mongrel. He's an absolute. He'll hit hard from what you want from your hooker. He's able to pass. He's got a decent pass on him. He'll be able to control the game as well.
Yeah.
And I just think he'd be a solid hooker.
Bit of mongrel about him.
Yeah.
Sort of similar who I've gone with. Wayne Rooney, bit of a dog, absolute dog, bit of a unit, and can pass as well. Like his distribution can do it. So out of those, who do you reckon you'd go with? It's a difficult one. If you had to start someone out of those two.
I think I'd go Keane.
Yeah, I think he's just got a bit.
I was thinking Rooney for front row.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. Well, yeah, all right, I'll agree with you on that one. Roy Keane, and then at 13, which is an interesting one, connection between the forwards and back. I've gone with because he got the nickname, Fat Frank. I reckon he'd be a good. His distribution is second to none. Drives forward pretty well, so I reckon he'd take on a line. And yeah, he can pass it. He can give a good offload when he needs to. Can also finish when he needs to as well. So I've gone with Big Frankie Lampard.
I've got a great Barclays Premier League name for 13. Big Papa Bouba Diop.
Oh, do you know what? That is a great shout.
That is a shout and a half.
The wardrobe.
He was an absolute force in midfield. Big, passable, could hit a shot as well on his day.
Yeah.
And I think he'd just be a good link. He'll carry the ball hard. So he's not just going to be that link, but he'll get some hard meters as well.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'd select him just purely for hardness. Played for Portsmouth, didn't he?
Yeah, Pompey. And Fulham.
Yeah, when I was down
West Ham as well.
I'm pretty sure when I was down in Portsmouth at university, saw him out on a night out at Bar Blue down in Southsea. But 6 and 7. So I'll say my combination is 6 and 7. You say yours, and then we'll decide who we're going to go with there. So I've gone with 2 absolute worldies.
Yeah.
David Beckham as my 6, just because I don't know, like not that I don't want him controlling the team, just because of the maybe intelligence side of things in terms of being able to dominate people around. But then the general I've got in at 7 is Kevin De Bruyne. He is just a magic man that I think would, have a game plan and execute it perfectly. So
I've at my 6, I'm gonna say this, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell are you going that for?" And the reason why for it is because during the 2009-2010 season, he had more completed passes than Xavi and Iniesta. And that was one Barry Ferguson.
I can't get behind it.
Yeah, I know, but he's old reliable. He's old reliable. I've looked for a bit of mongrel in a lot of my players, and he's definitely got that. He's old reliable, complete a pass. He doesn't need to think that much. You're not looking for him to open up teams. You just think he's there to bring something to an attack. Because then next to him, the magician is Luka Modric.
Luka Modric, I can get behind. Barry Ferguson, I can't. There's some bias 100% coming in for Barry Ferguson.
Massively. And that's you could say the same about Nemanja Matic as well.
And Zigic.
Massively Zigic. But now Luka Modric, I think he's massively underrated as a general in midfield, and how he can open up teams. Showed it a little bit later in his career in Madrid, but at Tottenham, he was arguably the best player on the field.
No, I reckon I'd stick Modric at 6 and I'd go Kevin De Bruyne at 7.
Yeah.
I think that would tear most teams apart. And then at fullback, Who have you gone with? We got two different choices.
both Arsenal legends to a certain extent.
One of Chelsea legends.
I've gone big Patty Vieira.
Yeah.
Big Patrick Vieira. Big, athletic, safe under a high ball, will be able to hit the gaps. And I reckon he could link up play as well when he needs to.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I went along, I think I thought of him or another, Claude Makalele was another one I thought of at fullback, actually. Just central defensive midfielder that just bosses everyone about. And then I was like, do you know what, though? If you want someone that can just assist everywhere and do everything, it's got to be Cesc Fabregas. Got the most assists in a Premier League season, can finish as well. So I've gone for Cesc Fabregas at fullback. But out of those two, it's tough. You've got two completely different choices. Where are you going? If you had to pick one?
I just love big Patty V.
Powerful team you've gone with there. Powerful team. But if you've got any suggestions of who you might put from the EPL, past, present players, stick them in the comments below. But one little bit that we're going to finish up on. We said the Lions tour was done and dusted last week.
And then the Wallabies going shock.
South
Africa. Not just in South Africa.
At a place they haven't won at for 62 years.
At Ellis Park, at altitude. South Africa don't lose at altitude.
Nah.
And they got humbled.
They did.
By the Wallabies.
Sueli got his first try in the Wallabies colours as well.
And if the Wallabies can back this up, I think it shows that the Wallabies are back. And this Lions victory
looks better than
was actually a lot better than the plaudits made out. And I think the Wallabies will feel very hard done by with the way some pundits were going on. Yeah,
I agree. Like all the talk coming out was that our Lions shouldn't tour Australia again. Australia rugby's in the mud. And they're going to turn over the world champions, who are now ranked third in the world. New Zealand, with their victory over the Pumas, jumped to the number one ranked team in the world, but they've got to back it up. Yeah. Do they play again this weekend?
I think it is this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Let me just quickly fact check that.
It'll be interesting to see how they go, because they might have lost one or two to injury.
I think older Harry Wilson is
did you see
Wilson?
Did you see him try and stop and get the ball down for his second try?
He was not, and that's, you could see he was in trouble then.
But I didn't think he was going to stop before he ran out the end. But
it's this weekend. 24th.
This weekend, so we'll see how that goes. I do think South Africans are going to come back, and they're going to come back with an absolute bang.
But as I said earlier, an angry Penrith team is a horrible team to play. But an angry South African team who have had,
I reckon they might run at 8-0.
Erasmus ran up their arse all week.
I reckon they might run an 8-0 on the bench. I don't know whether it's legal, but I reckon they're going to have an extra forward that they can bring on and stick them at bloody, 10 or something like that, just to run through people. But absolute spanner in the works. Lions not too bad, but that's another episode in the books. Thank you for tuning in, listening. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks for watching.